different stocks lead different markets. What's new in it? Every market has a new hero. So if certain stocks are gaining and certain are not gaining, that's part of markets. And I can't believe that from 2003 in a chart which Mr. Wood has put, India has outperformed 475% and China is 44%. The S&P is lower than what it was in 2000. And I don't know how the hell have the Indian markets not outperformed the Western world. I don't know. Mathematics or science is not an art, my friend. Right. As far as my opinion goes, I'm not so much worried about what's going to happen in India, because I think nothing is going to happen internally, in my opinion, and I still say that I reserve the right to be wrong, which is going to block Indian economic growth. But from Mr. Wood's observation, that if we make a reasonable investment in infrastructure, we are going to grow 9% for the next 5 years. I want to know which economy, with India's size and history, has had this growth of rate consistently. Right? Right. Now, as far as the Western world is concerned, even my dog knows there's going to be deflation and there's going to be inflation. And the dollar is going to be paper money and the gold is going to be the king. But sir, things have never panned out in markets the way that every dog in the street knows about. So I think there is a the Western world, make no bones about it, is facing the greatest challenges it ever has in history. Because I think the challenges are more structural than they are cyclical. And the biggest challenge is demographics, right? And the fact that people don't want to work, they are used to prosperity, 6% of humanity is consuming 35% of the world's resources, blah, blah, blah. But you know, I read in a place that look at Britain from 1975 to 1985. Unbelievable inflation, wage inflation, high interest rates, subpar growth, and then came Mrs. Thatcher from nowhere. And she said, I'll sell the public sector, I'll do what's right for the economy, I'll put a wage freeze, and England revived. So what is needed is, there is going to be subpar growth, have no doubt about it. But is there going to be loss of confidence? The basis of capitalism is confidence. And are we talking of I read somewhere in the latest Forbes, are we talking of a crisis in the system or a crisis of the system? If there is a crisis of the system where I own gold, right, what am I going to exchange it for? For food? All modern basis of capitalism will die, and I don't think that's going to happen. So if there is going to be confidence, people will bear subpar growth. I read recently the Financial Times has carried out a survey in all of the Euroland countries, varying from country to country, 64 to 84% of the population is supporting austerity, right? So it's not, Ireland has faced 10% negative growth. What's happening to Ireland? So I believe that in the Western world there will be subpar growth, but there will be no loss in the system. Countries will recover, right? There will be periods of extended subpar growth. That's not the end of the world. It's already happening in Ireland. And I think that we got the example of the fiscal problems where the scapegoats were Greece and Ireland and not America and England. How far better are they? Mr. Wood says you buy the dollar. Is America any better than Euro? Than the Euroland? I think Germany and France are far more healthier economies than America. So my personal point of view is that the Western world is going to have subpar growth. There's going to be that's what I think. But with 1 out of every 7 mortgages in America underwater, which means in an 11 trillion housing market, you have $1.7 trillion of potential default. Right. So I believe there's no reason why India will not go through. I can give my bullish views, blah, 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 everybody knows. But the fact is, when I go to a restaurant, I go to Gillot, अच्छा खाना मिलता है, बोले ये तो क्या इसका कुक मसाला पाकिस्तान से लाते हैं. अरे कहाँ से लाता है? डेमोग्राफिक्स है कि डेमोक्रेसी है? इंडिया में ग्रोथ है ना? Right. Just because the reasons are accidents of history, I'm not concerned here. I'm concerned with the growth. So I remain as bullish as ever, and in the short term, I think nothing adverse, in my opinion, is going to happen in the Western world for the next 9 to 12 months. I think India is going to hit a new high. I don't know whether in this calendar year, but surely in this financial year. Right. That's my opinion. Okay. And I reserve the right to be wrong.